I'm standing in my new lakefront cabin, coffee in hand, barely awake at 7 a.m., when Margaret Hensley, the HOA queen bee, storms in waving an eviction notice like it's her birthright to kick me out. I'm on the phone with Governor Daniels, trying to keep my cool, and I say, "Sir, they're trying to take this safe house." Margaret's face? Oh, it went from smug to ghost white in about 2 seconds flat. She had no clue who she was messing with. Let me rewind a bit, take you back 3 days so you can see how I landed in this wild mess. I'm Jake Sullivan, and for the last 10 years, I've been living a double life. To the folks in Pineview Estates, I'm just a quiet guy, mid-30s, some tech consultant who moved into Willow Creek Cabin 3 months ago through a vague relocation program. Boring, keeps to himself, probably spends his days Zooming with clients, right? What they don't know is this cabin isn't mine to own or lose. It's a classified safe house, assigned to me by Governor Daniels himself after a string of death threats last year. I'm not a consultant. I'm the guy who's been his shadow, his invisible shield, making sure nobody gets close enough to hurt him. This cabin? It's where he hides when the world gets too dangerous, when his office, his home, even his weekend fishing spot aren't safe anymore. It's got bulletproof windows disguised as fancy glass, a basement that looks like a workshop but could arm a SWAT team, and a security system that'd make Fort Knox jealous. So when Margaret Hensley, HOA president with a vendetta, tried to evict me from a federal safe house, she was basically committing a dozen felonies before her morning latte. 3 months ago, I rolled into Pineview Estates, a ritzy little community on a lake about 2 hours from the state capitol. The cabin's perfect 40 acres of pine trees, water on 3 sides, built by some paranoid tech mogul who wanted privacy and a panic room to match. My cover's airtight. Jake Sullivan, divorced, no kids, worked from home, likes to fish. The kind of guy nobody notices. I keep the place locked down, run diagnostics on the comm system, and wait for the governor's next visit. Everything's going smooth until that Tuesday morning when I hear tires crunching on the gravel drive. I peek out the kitchen window, and there's a sleek black SUV pulling up like it owns the place. Out steps Margaret Hensley, mid-50s, blonde hair and a bob so sharp it could cut glass, wearing a blazer that probably cost more than my truck. She's got 2 sidekicks, Clara Benson with a leather binder stuffed with papers, and Emily Tate tapping away on a tablet, eyeing my cabin like it's a prize they're here to claim. This isn't a neighborly visit with a pie. This is a power move. I check the security monitors, and my guts screaming trouble. Margaret striding up like she's about to foreclose on my soul, gesturing at the cabin's features cameras, reinforced doors like she's casing the joint. I tuck my service weapon into its holster, silence my secure phone, and open the door with my best confused homeowner face. "Morning, can I help you?" I say, all polite like. Margaret flashes a smile that's all teeth, no warmth. "Mr. Sullivan, I'm Margaret Hensley, Pineview Estates HOA president. This is Clara and Emily from our compliance committee. We need to discuss your property status." Compliance committee? That's a red flag right there. I play dumb. Didn't know there were any issues with my place. She's already peering past me, scoping out the living room. "Oh, I'm sure we can sort it out," she says, but her eyes are saying, "I'm here to win." I let them ink and blow my cover, but every instinct's telling me this is bad news. They sweep through the cabin like they're filming a reality show. Clara's snapping photos of the walls, the windows, even the damn light fixtures. Emily's scribbling notes about the layout, the lake view, muttering about sight lines. Margaret's heels click on the hardwood as she says, "Lovely place, Jake, but it's different. More like a fortress than a home, don't you think?" That word fortress shits like a punch. How the hell does she know anything about this place? My cover's been solid, my backstory vetted by people way above her pay grade. I keep my voice steady. Just a house, Margaret. Last owner liked his gadgets. Her smile tightens, and for a split second, I see something cold and calculating. Let's not play games, Jake. This property's more than a home, and we need it for community purposes. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. Arrangement? That's when Clara hands me a stack of papers saying emergency community ordinance passed last week, demanding my cabin be available for high-value guest events with 72 hours notice. It's got legal jargon, fancy seals, but it's fishy as hell passed in a secret meeting targeting lakefront properties with enhanced security features. This isn't about community BBQs. This is a shakedown. Margaret drops the bombshell. Senator Grayson's interested in hosting an event here next weekend. It'd be a shame to disappoint him. Grayson, Governor Daniels' biggest rival, the guy gunning for his seat in the next election. My blood's boiling, but I keep it cool. I'll need to talk to my lawyer, I say, handing back the papers. Margaret's smile turns sharp. Of course, but don't wait too long. Non-compliance comes with fines $500 a day, then $2,000 after a week, plus legal action. We cater to important people here, Jake. They leave, and I'm left standing in my doorway, piecing it together. This isn't just an HOA flexing muscle. It's a political hit job, and somehow they know enough about this cabin to target it. I lock the place down, flip every security switch to high alert, and call my boss, Deputy Director Evans. We got a problem, I tell him. Potential compromise. Political actors involved. He's grim. Maintain cover, document everything. If they try to take the place, you're authorized to defend it by any means. That night, I spot a white van cruising past the cabin 3 times, different plates each time, but the same driver. Professional surveillance, no question. By morning, my front door's plastered with notices. One for unauthorized exterior lighting, my perimeter floodlights. Another demanding a county inspection for code violations, and a restraining order claiming I'm breaching HOA covenants by refusing access. It's a legal blitzkrieg, and it's no coincidence as Sumione's feeding Margaret intel. Then my secure phone buzzes. Governor Daniels is coming tomorrow. Worst timing ever. I push back, suggest a different location, but commands clear. Threats to his primary spots are too high. Secure the cabin. I've got 12 hours to prep for the governor while fending off a political conspiracy. Enter Mrs. Evelyn Carter, my 70-year-old neighbor, showing up with a plate of oatmeal cookies and a worried look. Jake, I need to talk to you about Margaret, she says, sitting in my living room. She's lived here 20 years. Seen the HOA turn from nosy to predatory. 3 families got pushed out last year, same playbook. Fines, violations, legal threats until they sold cheap to some shell company. Then those houses started hosting fancy political fundraisers. She hands me a folder of property records, campaign finance reports linking the sales to Senator Grayson's team. It's a pattern. Target prime properties, force sales, turn them into private venues for off-the-books campaign cash. Evelyn tried blowing the whistle, but Margaret's husband, a lawyer tied to Grayson, buried her complaints. This is bigger than my cabinet's a corruption ring. By 10 p.m., the governor's advance team rolls in, and I brief them on the mess. Agent Torres, the lead, nods. If Grayson's behind this, they're not just civilians. Treat them like hostile operatives. Governor Daniels arrives at 11:15, low-key in an unmarked SUV. In the basement comms room, I lay it all out: Margaret's threats, Grayson's connection, the HOA's fake ordinance. He's calm but pissed. Grayson wants my safe house for his dirty money parties? No way we're running. I want to face this head on. I'm sweating this could blow my cover, expose the whole operation, but he's got a plan to turn the tables. At 8:30 a.m., my phone rings. Jake Sullivan, this is Agent Laura Bennett, FBI. My heart skips. She knows about the safe house, the governor's location, everything. We've been tracking Grayson's campaign for 18 months, money laundering, illegal surveillance, the works. Your HOA stunt is their latest move. Let them inspect, don't interfere. We'll record everything. I glance at the governor, who's listening in. He grins. This is it, Jake. Grayson's done. At 9 a.m., Margaret's convoy rolls up her SUV, a van, and 2 more cars like they're raiding the place. She's in a power suit, flanked by a lawyer, Tom Whitaker, and her usual goons, Clara and Emily, plus a tech crew with cameras and scanners that scream espionage. Jake, I trust you're ready to cooperate, Margaret says, all smug. I nod. I'm following legal requirements. Tom steps up, all swagger. This ordinance gives us full access. Any resistance, and you're looking at criminal charges. They're fishing for a fight, but I play along, letting them roam the cabin. They're snapping photos, scanning for signals, poking in my workshop in the basement. Clara points at a radio setup. What kind of consultant needs military-grade comms? Before I can answer, footsteps echo. Governor Daniels steps into view, casual but commanding. The room freezes. Margaret's jaw hits the floor. Governor Daniels? She squeaks. Ladies and gentlemen, he says, voice like steel, you're inspecting my secure facility. Every photo, every scan you've taken is a federal crime. Margaret stammers. This is just an HOA check. He holds up his phone, recording. I've heard every word. You're surveilling a state security asset. Tom tries to bluster, but the front door bangs open. FBI, nobody move. Agent Bennett storms in with a team, badges out, cuffs ready. You're under investigation for espionage, conspiracy, and campaign finance violations, she says. Margaret's team unravels phones deleted, excuses flying. Bennett lays it out. They've got recordings, bank records, proof of Grayson's network targeting properties across 3 states. Margaret's face crumples when Daniels says, your buddy Grayson sold you out last night. He's denying everything. They're cuffed, their gear seized, and just like that, their whole operation's toast. 3 months later, I'm watching the news in the cabin. Grayson pleads guilty to 22 charges, 10 years in prison. Margaret gets 5 and a $3 million fine. Tom's disbarred, 3 years behind bars. The feds uncover a web of corruption for sales, secret fundraisers, all tied to Grayson's campaign. The families who lost their homes, they're getting their properties back or full compensation. Pineview Estates boots the old HOA, elects a transparent board, and bans predatory tactics. Property values shoot up 50%. Evelyn's niece, Lily, moves in to run a lake cleanup project, and we hit it off. Coffee turns into community meetings, then a real connection. The cabin's still a safe house, but now it's hosting kids' eco camps, not shady fundraisers. Looking back, I was just trying to keep the governor safe, but we ended up exposing a corrupt empire. Sometimes you don't just stop the bad guys, you build something better. So, what would you do if someone tried to steal your home for power and cash? Fight quiet or go loud? Drop your thoughts below, and if you've got an HOA horror story, share it too, might feature next. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because next week, we've got a tale about a Karen who picked a fight with a federal judge. Trust me, you won't want to miss her face when justice rolls in.